Well, we begin with a live look from Jerusalem, where sirens have been going off for Israelis to take shelter as the United States launched a, quote, major combat operations in Iran overnight. The Associated Press reports that the supreme leader of Iran was killed in the attack. KETK's Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson has what we're learning about the scope of this operation.
The video from President Trump is just over 8 minutes long. In it, he lays out the United States' objective for attacking Iran and warns there may be U.S. casualties.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran.
Smoke began rising over Tehran shortly after President Donald Trump announced the U.S. launched a mission to take down the Iranian regime.
To prevent this very wicked, radical dictatorship from threatening America and our core national security interests.
In an early Saturday morning video, President Trump delivered a warning and a mission to the Iranian people.
I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take.
The White House has signaled for days a military strike could be imminent to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons. Top White House and Iranian negotiators held direct talks in Geneva on Thursday, but did not reach a deal.
They've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions, and we can't take it anymore.
U.S. forces have built up their presence in the region in recent weeks. Israel joined the United States Saturday morning in Operation Epic Fury, which the president described as ongoing and as war.
And I do not make this statement lightly. The Iranian regime seeks to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties.
Iran is now responding, saying it won't hesitate to defend the homeland. U.S. embassies in the Middle East are warning Americans to shelter in place as the operation against Iran is just beginning. Reporting in Washington, Rashad Hudson, back to you.
East Texas Congressman Nathaniel Moran is reacting to the military strikes in support, saying, quote, Iran remains the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism and a major threat to the U.S., funding proxy militias, threatening our allies while openly chanting death to America, end quote. He adds he looks forward to an in-depth brief from the administration in the coming days. And more lawmakers are reacting to the start of this military operation. Some question whether President Trump needed congressional approval before the strike. KETK's Washington correspondent Raquel Martin has the reaction as well as updates on the operation itself.
Video shows the moments the U.S. and Israel launched strikes on Iran Saturday, targeting Iran's military capabilities and top government sites. President Donald Trump confirming Iran's supreme leader was among the top government officials killed in the blasts.
This regime will soon learn that no one should challenge the strength and might of the United States.
From Mar-a-Lago, President Donald Trump issued this warning shortly after the strikes began. New photos show the war room established at the president's Florida resort. They're calling the strikes Operation Epic Fury. The president says the strikes are a result of failed nuclear negotiations with Iranian leaders. The last one took place Thursday in Geneva. Iran maintained they have the right to enrich uranium.
They've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions, and we can't take it anymore.
The president and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu are calling on the Iranian people to rise up.
When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take.
Iran has since retaliated, launching several strikes against Israel and U.S. military sites throughout the Middle East. Many Republicans are rallying behind the president's actions.
This is a war of their making. This is not an attack that we wanted, but it's one that is necessary.
But most Democrats are furious.
Donald Trump just put us into another forever war in the Middle East.
He now has said that he's going to put American troops, military men and women, potentially in harm's way.
According to a senior White House official, Secretary of State Marco Rubio gave the Gang of Eight advance notice of the operation. In Washington, Raquel Martin.
Well, back here at home, the Smith County Republican Party Chairman David Stein tells me this move by President Trump was not a knee-jerk reaction, and this round of strikes should show that the administration is serious about wanting to keep the earth a more peaceful place.
They're trying to destroy a civilization. They're trying to remove the Jewish people from off the face of the earth. It's deplorable. They constantly are seeking these aggressive acts against other citizens. And the example of peace through strength is what we go by. And hopefully they'll get the message and just settle it down and understand that they're going to have to live peacefully in a world with every other country.
He adds this has been a problem for decades and believes it will probably continue the same way, but the administration needs to do what is necessary to make sure Iran is neutralized. Meanwhile, the Smith County Democratic Interim Party Chair Cam Ray tells me it's deeply disturbing that we're now diving into another endless war. She questions President Trump's plans after he withdrew from a nuclear agreement with Iran to dismantle most of their nuclear program.
I don't agree that we need more nuclear weapons in the Middle East. It's a really dangerous area anyway, and so having nuclear weapons there isn't great, but we also did have a plan in place that, again, President Trump withdrew from that prevented Iran from having nuclear weapons. So again, what's his end goal now?
She adds that President Trump made promises here at home that he has not kept, but continues to keep Americans in a, quote, more issues overseas.